Thank you. Asante sana Bwana Madam DC, the guest of honor, Your Excellency the Governor, and all protocols observed. My names are Dr. Simiyu. I sit on the National Executive Council of the Kenya Red Cross. I am also the chair to Programs Committee. Indeed, today is a great day because the drought situation in Kenya is very dire. We come together because we want to save livelihoods. It's only about human beings, even livestock. You can see, if you watch the media, you see exactly it's not so good. 4.3 million people have been affected, and more so in the ASAL areas. And we have some counties we have about 11 counties in alarm stage. And those are Isiolo, Laikipia, Samburu, Wajir, Turkana, Kajiado, Tana River, and Marsabit. Those are in pathetic situation. We have 9 counties which are in alert stage. And these are Embu, Makueni, Meru, Narok, Nyeri, Tharaka Nithi, and Kwale, and Kilifi. And including Machakos. We thought it's only the ASAL areas high up there, the northern frontier. But we realized the drought had affected more than what we thought. So we came together and said, we must do something, because alone we can't move. So the partnerships that we formed is that we have to work together with the government, both the national government and the county government, and other partners that are there. The Kenya Red Cross is a leading humanitarian organization, and we have always been there, even in Machakos. We are there. We have our volunteers and members doing a lot of work here in Machakos. I might not be able to mention that. This is due to poor rain, and we focus that the rains might not come because soon, or if it comes, it might not be in the right quantities that might be able to sustain good harvests. So what our interventions are we doing ourselves as Kenya Red Cross? These interventions that we are doing across the country. We're doing across the country, and one of it is partnerships, like I've said, to create partnerships with the county governments, because that is where we are. That is where our operations are. Then we have the national government. This initiative has come because we sat together and we thought about it. As we talk today, we are many other people all over the counties doing the same where people are affected by drought. So indeed, like in Kamba, I think we have other group in Kitui. You can see. So Kenya Red Cross and other partners, because we have international partners that support our activities. So we mobilize the resources and say, no, we must come together and push this. So we have to do what we call food distribution, like what we are going to do today, because many people have been affected by hunger and they have nothing to eat. So what do? There's no rain, there's no harvest, so we have to give them food. But this is not a lasting solution. It's short term. Like the area MP said, it's short term. We have to look at long-term solutions that we have to deal with. So what are we doing is that we also give what we call cash transfer to people, because some areas you might give them maybe maharagwe and they might not be able to eat maharagwe. You give them to decide what they want to buy with the money. So through other partners and our international organizations, they come together and they assist us in doing cash transfers. And, it's quite all over the country. It's not only here. We have also done what we are talking about, water. The long-term solution is water, borehole sinking, and it's expensive to sink boreholes. Now we have water pans, we have rivers like here we have the Mheshimiwa has just talked about it, the Athi. But Athi is polluted in Nairobi. So chemicals, pollution, now we have also water hyacinth trying to get in there because they grow there because of the pollution. So what are we doing? So those are the efforts that we are looking at about it. We look for donors and maybe try to clean up these rivers so that water that comes here is able to save for drinking and also save for growing crops. Because if you put it, you irrigate with this water, then you end up having problems like maybe cancer, like the high excellence the governor said, is because of that. Because this water is also polluted with the heavy chemicals, lead and others, and they are not good for human consumption. So the vegetables that you eat, you might find that they are contaminated with such things. Then we also have health and nutrition, which we have integrated. Now we have what the county commission has just spoken about. School children, you cannot actually be attentive in class if you have no food. We have also the under fives. You might have seen some place like in Turkana. In Turkana, you are seeing that people have nothing completely to eat. They're eating nuts, breaking nuts, or boiling nuts for a long time. So what are we doing? We are providing them with food, which are nutritious, and the people that have been affected with acute malnutrition, then we rehabilitate them by putting them in hospitals, and then they come back to normalcy. It's a bad situation. So we have mapped these sites, and that's why we're saying that we have mapped across the country, then we are able to go there, then we have this program. And then there's lactating mothers who are breastfeeding, then we have the elderly. Those are the people that we are putting up targets. But we have a problem with now resources. Resources are quite difficult for us to come across. The Kenya Red Cross deals with volunteers, so we have to look at the partnership that I'm saying. And we are very great today. The day of today is the government. We are an auxiliary association, society to the government. So the government comes in, we have the network, we have the people, we are able to move up there. And finally, to finish, is that, for example, in Machakos, we have put up drought-resistant, tolerant seeds so that people can plant, so that instead of waiting for us to come with donations, you have seeds that can be able to tolerate the seeds. You have the Prime Minister. Those are the interventions that we are doing, and the efforts and your assistance as the national government